The View co-host Sunny Hostin's husband, Emanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud.
Sunny Hostin is going bankrupt and losing it all after her husband's fraud scandal was finally exposed. The View co-host, known for her sharp legal takes, is now facing a nightmare she never saw coming. Her husband, Dr. Emanuel Hostin, has been hit with a RICO lawsuit. Yes, the same kind of charges used against mob bosses. And now their entire world is falling apart.
That in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And
the once powerful couple is drowning in legal trouble, and to make matters worse, they've officially filed for bankruptcy. Their picture-perfect life is gone, their finances are in ruins, and Sunny's career is hanging by a thread. Now she's scrambling to defend her husband. But this lawsuit is so serious it could even lead to a federal indictment. So what exactly went down? Let's break it all down. Sunny Hostin is always in the headlines, whether it's for her controversial comments on The View or dropping bold legal takes that have everyone talking. But this time, it's not her opinions making waves, it's her personal life. And let's just say, things are getting messy.
I feel like that's an oxymoron, a black Republican. You feel like it's an oxymoron? I do. Why? Your friend right here is a Republican.
Sunny has always given off that energy. The woman who has it all. A powerhouse lawyer, best-selling author, and a top TV personality, married to Dr. Emanuel "Manny" Hostin, a big-shot orthopedic surgeon running his own practice. They had the dream life, including luxury vacations, elite social circles, and a bank account most of us can only fantasize about. But it turns out that Manny's name is being thrown around in a massive RICO case, the kind of legal mess usually linked to mobsters, fraud rings, and shady business deals. The accusations include alleged financial fraud, insurance scams, and dodgy medical practices. If true, this could mean frozen assets, millions in legal fees, and yeah, possible jail time. And even though Sunny isn't the one being accused, when your husband's name is linked to a $450 million scandal, people start asking questions. And the biggest bombshell is that Sunny has allegedly filed for bankruptcy. Yep, the same Sunny Hostin who's been cashing The View checks and writing bestsellers. But when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. A legal battle of this magnitude doesn't just drain finances, it destroys them. Defending oneself in a RICO case means hiring the best attorneys, and that kind of representation comes with insane fees. On top of that, if authorities believe assets were acquired illegally, they can freeze or seize them, leaving the accused scrambling for financial stability.
Twitter is not the real world, and in fact, on Twitter, it is predominantly straight white men. So when Elon Musk says, wow, this is...
Then there's the reputational damage. In the world of high-profile figures, controversy can mean the loss of endorsements, speaking engagements, and book deals. Sunny's brand was built on integrity and legal expertise, so being linked to such a scandal could jeopardize everything she has worked for. Filing for bankruptcy could be a strategic move to protect whatever assets she can before things spiral further out of control. What makes this even more drastic is how quickly it all unfolded. Just months ago, they were living in luxury, seemingly untouchable. Now, they are at the center of what could become one of the most significant legal cases in recent history. The lawsuit against Manny is no small matter. It's being called the largest RICO case ever filed in New York. According to the lawsuit, Manny and nearly 200 other defendants are accused of organizing a massive scheme to exploit New York's no-fault insurance laws. These laws require insurance companies to cover medical expenses for car accident victims, regardless of fault. Prosecutors claim that Manny's clinic took advantage of this system by billing for unnecessary procedures, performing surgeries on patients who didn't need them, and fabricating medical records to justify massive payouts for insurance companies. The numbers are staggering. Allegedly, this scheme drained a jaw-dropping $450 million from the healthcare system.
Money has been in politics for a really long time. Rich people have been sort of running the world and the world of politics for a really long time.
Even more crazy is that the victims of this fraud were reportedly taxi drivers, Uber and Lyft drivers, people who were already in financially difficult situations. The lawsuit describes cases where individuals involved in minor accidents were suddenly subjected to major surgical procedures they didn't need, all in the name of profit. Manny, of course, denies everything. His legal team is calling the case a money grab by insurance companies. Sunny is standing by her man, calling it all a smear campaign. So is this the moment Sunny Hostin's career takes a hit? That's the question on everyone's mind. For years, she's built a reputation as a sharp legal analyst, a no-nonsense commentator, and a strong voice on The View. Her credibility comes from her years as a prosecutor, giving her the authority to dissect legal and political issues with an insider perspective. But now, with her husband caught up in a massive legal scandal, her own reputation is on the line. Till now, ABC hasn't made any official statements, but networks are known for being strategic. The View has handled its fair share of controversies, and while some co-hosts have managed to weather the storm, others have been quietly let go when their personal troubles became too much of a distraction. Right now, Sunny's future is uncertain. If public opinion turns against her, the network may decide it's safer to move on. And let's be honest, TV is a business. If advertisers and executives see her as a liability, she could be in trouble. What about the audience? The View thrives on strong personalities, and Sunny has a loyal fan base. But even the most dedicated supporters might start questioning her if they believe she benefited from or had knowledge of any financial wrongdoing. Trust is everything in the media, and once doubt creeps in, it's hard to shake off. Public perception will play a major role in whether she keeps her spot at the table or finds herself quietly phased out. So far, she hasn't addressed the bankruptcy rumors directly. That silence could mean she's following legal advice and waiting for the right time to speak. It could also mean she's still figuring out her strategy.
It just is what it is, in my opinion. And since Citizens United, the Supreme Court.
What happens next will depend on how she chooses to handle this moment. If she can successfully distance herself from her husband's legal trouble and frame herself as someone caught in the fallout, she might be able to survive this. But if new details emerge that suggest she knew more than she's letting on, things could get much worse. There are a few ways this could play out. One option is a full public comeback. If she stays on The View, she might use the platform to tell her side of the story. Owning the narrative is often the best move when facing a scandal. If she can show that she had no involvement and was blindsided by the situation, she might win back public sympathy. People love a redemption arc, and if she plays her cards right, she could come out stronger. Another possibility is a quiet exit. If ABC decides she's too much of a risk, they might ease her out without much fanfare. It wouldn't be the first time a network has let a host go by simply not renewing their contract. Sometimes these decisions happen behind the scenes with no official announcement. One day, she'd just be gone, and the show would move on without much explanation. That would be a major blow to her career, but not an impossible one to recover from.
The system for all of eternity.
Then there's the worst case scenario, legal trouble of her own. So far, there's no evidence that Sunny was directly involved in the alleged financial fraud, but if any connection is uncovered, she could find herself facing legal battles as well. That would be a nightmare scenario. The accusations against her husband are serious, and if she's dragged into it, it could mean years of legal fights, financial losses, and permanent damage to her career. The next few months will be crucial. Every statement she makes, every decision she takes, will determine whether she can salvage her career or if this scandal will define her legacy. Right now, all eyes are on her, waiting to see what she does next. One thing is clear, this story is far from over. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on more updates.